looking a little dusty there. I just pulled the camera out actually of a moving box because if you can't tell, I don't know if it's echoey in here, but we are, I got some stuff to catch you up on. We are back in our old house that we were in before the last one. So it's kind of a long story. I'll catch you guys up later in the video, but Matt and Sage had a late night yesterday. They went out, they did like a daddy and daughter date at the zoo. They went with some family and stuff, and I stayed back because I was really tired. I spent the day at summer camp with the kids on Thursday. I just had a bunch of work to catch up on, so it was actually a really nice Friday, just like quiet in the house, just Oakley here, and luckily we had some childcare, and so I was able just to like get a lot of stuff done. Everyone was feeling tired this morning, so Matt went out and grabbed some smoothies for breakfast this morning, which I'm not complaining about. I like to get mine with extra lemon juice and some vanilla protein powder. That's good. Let me just wet this. What I want today's video to be focused on is just my breastfeeding journey. I've now been breastfeeding for, I don't know, I feel like when I did the math the other day, it was like over 4 years, which sounds crazy. I remember after I had, or when I was pregnant with Sage, and she's 4.5 now, I thought like, I don't even think my body is capable of producing milk. Like in my head, I don't know why, it was just like this thing where I just feel like I couldn't believe it. Like breastfeeding just seemed like this really foreign, weird thing. I don't know, I just couldn't comprehend. I couldn't grasp my mind around the idea of feeding my baby with my body. And now here we are, 4+ years later. Let's just get the skin prepped here. I love this combo. I do like the wrinkle patch with hyaluronic serum on top. It just like makes my forehead so smooth. No wrinkles. There's wrinkles, they're hiding right now. So I actually asked you guys on Instagram last night or yesterday, what questions you want me to answer. Like I just said, like, ask me anything. Nothing's off the table. Ask me all your questions about breastfeeding. Cause like I do feel like I'm not an expert, but I also feel like I kind of am. Like I've been doing it for a long time. I've had a very positive journey with it. There's definitely been like ups and downs. I love talking about it. I feel like at this point it's become my personality, and the reason why I talk about it so much and I show it so much is because I feel like I know when I first started, it was like I still felt like very taboo about it and weird to talk about it, and there wasn't a lot of information. I could find information, but not just like personal, like real life, like girlfriend chit chat. So we're just gonna get into all the juicy questions and get into it today and tell you why we moved. I got so many questions from you guys on Instagram. So I've looked at a couple, but we're just gonna like kind of pick throughout the day. I didn't close the window because the cicadas, they'd be going crazy right now. It's gonna be a hot day. Okay, this is a good one. How do you get through bleeding, scabs, and pain at the start? So obviously when you are breastfeeding for the first time, your body and the girls, they're not used to it. They're like, what is happening? It's like, think about like, even I've been going back to CrossFit and right now I have calluses on my hands. It's kind of similar to that. You're building the callus. You're not going to get calluses, but you are toughening up the skin a little bit, and it's a very sensitive skin, you know, it doesn't really even see the light of day half the time. And one of the most important things is figuring out the latch. And what really helped me with reducing pain is the more boob in the mouth, the better. So you don't want baby just kind of sucking at the tip. You want them like a sandwich. And you know, like I've talked about this before. I have so many breastfeeding tip videos, by the way. I've talked about this before, but you essentially like, I would kind of like do a little squeeze, like a little kind of like a little pancake hamburger squeeze. I don't know the technical term. And then like latch baby on from like the bottom lip up on the top. And you basically want as much as like the areola as possible. And that's what they mean by like getting a good latch. Well, I'm not a lactation consultant. Let's just be clear. I've just been breastfeeding for many years and I'm just giving you my advice. So go to like a professional if you need like professional advice. This is just like my experience and how I'm gonna best explain things from my journey. And I will say the first like 1 to 2 weeks, if you can get through that, it gets so much better after that. And so I remember at the hospital, they gave me a prescription for this like a medicated cream. I'm a pretty natural girly. Like I don't like a lot of interventions. I try to do things naturally as much as I can. And I was like, no, like I'm good. Get the cream. Get the cream, because I look back and I think if I didn't have that cream, because I had it and I thought, okay, Matt was like, we'll just get it And then if you don't need it, you don't need it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we get home. I think, I don't know, by like day 2, I was like, I need the cream. Like they were so sore, and I feel like if I didn't have the cream, it helps like just like, I think it just helps numb it. I forget exactly what it is, but it's a common one that people get at the hospital. I feel like if I didn't have that cream, it definitely would have been harder to push past that. You know, there's so many things, like there's like these silver, I heard someone ask me the question too, they're like these silverettes or like little silver cups. I got them in case I needed them after I had Oakley, but I didn't end up using them, but those are a great option. There's things like nipple shields, just like icing, good latch, like there's lots of things you can do. The big thing I did too is just airing the girls. Like you don't want moisture, you don't want like milky, I'm trying not to ban this video on the internet. You don't want a lot of moisture. You want to keep the girls dry, and that way it's also going to help prevent any infections and stuff. So if you're not breastfeeding, try just to like be topless during the day. It can be weird just to be like, hello, like you just pushed a baby out of your body and now you just feel like you are something out of National Geographic, but that's just kind of what it is. There's a couple questions here about engorgement, which if you've never breastfed before, you're probably like, what the heck is that? It essentially is when, I'm maybe not explaining things technically correct. In my experience, engorgement is when your milk ducts are kind of overfilled, that you can feel it. It's a little uncomfortable. It feels like a very full, that, yeah, a little bit like they feel like they're gonna burst or pop. Like they just feel uncomfortably full, like they might explode. I don't know how else to explain it. So your actual milk doesn't come in, and it's different for everyone. I feel like with me, it was both times were kind of like the second day. So it's like by the time you're home is when they come in, and it was the scariest thing. I did not expect, it looks like Frankenstein titties. Like no one told me that was gonna happen. Okay, it was like, yeah, your milk's gonna come in. No, they're gonna feel like they're going to explode. It is veiny. It is so, that to me is engorgement. Like, I mean, there's like more mild versions of engorgement, but it basically is that very full, uncomfortable feeling, like feels tight and like they're gonna explode. It was definitely more uncomfortable the second time around. I think the more kids you have, your body's like, I know what to do, and the milk comes faster. I was not expecting that. Your body will regulate. So if you're freaking out, you're like, this is so uncomfortable. Is this what breastfeeding feels like? It is not. Your body works on supply and demand. So your body is gonna make enough milk based on the demand. So how often your baby is nursing, especially in the beginning. They're going to be cluster feeding, so they're going to be on and off the boob a lot, and that's going to signal your body to make more milk. It's just really uncomfortable. Like I had to use like cold cabbage leaves to calm them down, very mild pumping, because you don't want to pump too much because then it's telling your body you got to make more milk, and it's a vicious cycle. Everyday normal engorgement, it would happen sometimes like if baby slept a long time throughout the night, I would wake up like really full, and then it almost feels like a relief to have baby latch and drink, and you're like, oh, like it's just this uncomfortable tightness feeling. But essentially once you get into a routine of breastfeeding and your body understands how much to make, you'll kind of regulate and you won't get that feeling as much. And you don't really want to be engorged because like that can lead to things like mastitis and other infections. And so you want to be getting that milk out as it's being produced. Okay, so a couple of questions about how do I feel on the appearance of the girls. I wouldn't say post breastfeeding because obviously I'm still breastfeeding, and also do I feel like they are flatter than with my second than breastfeeding with my first? So we're gonna get into that, but first I just want to talk about the most comfortable bras and underwears that I've been wearing for the past year now. Skims, who are sponsoring this video today, thank you so much. You have changed my life in the undergarment department. This is the Scoop bralette in the Fits Everybody collection, but I just got a brand new triangle bralette, also from the Fits Everybody collection in the color cacao. It's a little bit different. This one I think is the Jasper, so it's a little darker. Love the triangle. These are my two favorite ones. And then for bottoms, these are the boy shorts, which they stretch like 2 times their size. They are so comfortable. They mold to the body, because if you know me in real life, I hate underwears, I hate bras, especially now breastfeeding for as long as I have. I am like anti anything uncomfortable on the body. I already have like 2 kids on me all the time, one literally draining me. I need comfortable undergarments. I really alternate between the triangle one and the Scoop one, but they have so many different styles and designs, a huge range of sizes and shades, and honestly something for everybody, which is probably why It's called the Fits Everybody collection. With my first, I felt like I had to have like nursing bras with the clips and the double layers. Now nursing for as long as I have, I just want pieces that fit with my body and my wardrobe. They can make me feel like I just have so much going on, where this is just so seamless. Like it's just like, oh, I can breathe in it. Whether you're breastfeeding or not, I do feel like they just become a little bit more deflated. So having something that's just gonna help lift, give me shape and confidence. They don't dig anywhere. They're not like giving me rolls. They just fit. If you've had a baby, you know your body is constantly changing, especially within those first like couple of years. I go up a size or down a size. These items work for my body. You can click the link in the description box to check out my favorite bras and underwears from skims.com. And then be sure to let them know I sent you. All you have to do is select YouTube in the survey, and then in the drop down menu, select my channel. And like I said, I'm gonna have everything linked down below, and also my favorite colors that I've gotten from them. Okay, I do want to quickly do my makeup. Okay, so there's a lot of questions about weaning and how I weaned Sage. So if you didn't know, I was still breastfeeding Sage when I was pregnant with Oakley. The female body is crazy. Like, let's be real. Like, I was growing a baby while feeding a baby. Like, to me, that's just insane. So I had no plan exactly on when I was gonna stop breastfeeding Sage, but I will say once she turned 2, so both of my kids have late fall birthdays. And so once she turned 2, which was in November, I thought, okay, like the cold and flu season is starting up. Like I might as well just go till the end of the winter. And so I got pregnant with Oakley, I don't know, like early the next year. So I thought, okay, well, I'm already like planning to finish after the winter. Like I'll just keep breastfeeding her. And then while I'm pregnant. But I actually got so sick with Oakley, like all day morning sickness, basically until like 25 weeks. Pregnant. So that was rough. I was kind of worried and scared to go through it, to be honest, but it happened so naturally. Like they say your milk changes when you're pregnant. And so I think naturally she just wasn't liking the milk as much. And also because I was so sick, Matt was like taking care, basically keeping us all alive and well, but he was doing like the morning routine, the bedtime routine, while I was just withering away on the couch. And you know, growing life, I was doing stuff, but I just was having a hard time. And so Matt was really like the main default parent during that time. Naturally, it just happened. Like I remember documenting what I thought was gonna be the last time we nursed, and it was so hard. Like no one talks about this. Like sometimes you don't even know when the last time's gonna be, because maybe next time they're like, not, some kids just decide today's the day, I'm done. I don't want it. Really, I had to be out of the picture. Like if it was bedtime routine, like I had to be out of the house or like hiding in another room. Like she couldn't see me. I don't even know if I have like good tips, because it was such a natural process for us that it didn't feel like this overwhelming thing. But I really think I got lucky, the fact that I was pregnant, and like my milk supply must have been dipping too, because I was so sick. Like there was no way that my body was producing the same amount of milk. I think she was mostly nursing for comfort. And so I think as my milk supply was dipping, she was becoming less interested. So yeah, I'd like to go to at least 2 years with Oakley, but I'm just like not stressed out about it like I was with Sage. And I really do not care what other people think. Like friends, family, I do not care. This is not about them, it's about us. And I just love that I just feel so much more confident in my decision. I know the gift I'm giving my kids, and I am not letting anyone rob me of this journey earlier than we're ready to stop. Yeah, I literally just got a question. Hey, Nikole, do you plan to stop breastfeeding Oakley when he hits 2 years? I don't know. It might, same thing, like his birthday is in the fall. I might just do until 2.5 if things are still going smoothly and he still wants milk. Some people are asking, you know, does Oakley sleep through the night? How did I night wean? So I would say with both my kids, I basically started night weaning when they were like around the 6-month age, when they were starting solids. The thing that I really didn't know ahead of time was that night weaning doesn't mean they're having less milk. It just means they're having all their milk during daytime hours instead of at night. But in terms of like actually weaning milk, once again, maybe have your partner go in, the person who is not breastfeeding, wear like a big sweater or something so they can't access the milk. Also just make sure to really fill them up during the day and making sure that they're getting lots of milk. I just found it easier to do once I knew they're having solids. I just felt like that was a good time for us to do it. Like any earlier I think is too early. I think like let them just naturally pick their kind of eating schedule for the most part. Like obviously like if they're waking up every hour, like no one's getting sleep, but I just kind of gradually did it. Like if Oakley was to wake up in the middle of the night, I wouldn't offer him the boob unless he was sick or teething. Like when they're not feeling well, like I'm not like, no, we're not feeding at night. I did get some questions about intimacy, and also I need tips on how to not sexualize your own girls when breastfeeding. Such a change in perspective. So this is the thing when you are out breastfeeding. Okay, so these are kind of two different questions that I saw. First one is not sexualizing them. When you're out in public or even out with family and you gotta feed your baby, it's like this weird shift where we were brought up that like this is a sexual thing and we should hide it and be shameful. Like, I don't know, I just, not shameful. Sometimes actually, it's like, it's gotta be covered up because this is an sex symbol. And so I think that when you're nursing, it's kind of like this weird shift in your mind. You're like, well, it isn't now. And the girls are always out because you're always feeding. It does take some time to get used to not thinking of them that way. Like now I almost forget that other people think of them that way. Because for me, I'm like, it's just a natural thing. I'm just feeding my baby. So when people are like, how do you feel comfortable like nursing in public without a cover? Not every baby lets you cover them up. Like my kids are like, get this blanket tarp off my body right now. When it comes down to it, it's really just a them problem. When I'm making someone else uncomfortable because I'm feeding my baby, I'm just like, that's a you problem, not me. I'm comfortable, I'm fine. I'm not the one that needs to go into a separate room. That feels so isolating. And I remember being at like parties and gatherings and stuff, and it'd be like, oh, especially when you're feeding a infant, like they're nursing for a long time. So I'm like, hey, I guess I'll go upstairs in one of the bedrooms and like feed for 40 minutes. Okay, and then on top of that, I did get a lot of questions about intimacy. How do I feel like it's affected my relationship with Matt? Like, do I feel like it's weird that I'm breastfeeding, like if we're intimate, or like what if like I was to leak on him? Like I think about the same thing when it comes to periods. I think it's childish for a guy to make you feel uncomfortable about natural womanly functions, okay? I don't need to be TMI around Matt when I talk about my period. He was there and helping me with birth and postpartum, and once you go through that, I don't feel like anything else really tops it. Like breastfeeding is the least TMI thing that Matt and I have been through. He literally helped me change my diapers. If I can't talk to you about my leaky girls and bleeding during my period and what I'm going through, then like, I don't know, that's just not, and everyone has different relationships, but that's not the relationship for me. So it's not TMI, it's just what I'm going through, and I want to be able to talk about real things with my partner. If something leaks on him, like get over it, it's milk. Like you literally probably drink cow's milk. I think it's probably more in our heads than theirs. Like they are not worrying about the milk, I promise you that. Matt, I actually have a question for you. Yeah. Someone asked, like, you're gonna hate this question. Just, you don't have to like get nitty gritty, but like, do you ever feel weird? Like someone's asking like intimacy and stuff and like you're breastfeeding. Like, do you think it's weird that
you breastfeed?
Yeah, that I'm like, do you find it like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, do you feel
like it's unattractive?
Yeah.
No. Do people feel that way?
Memory card was full. And basically I was saying like, I feel like it's similar to like, if I was to talk to you about periods, like I'm on my period right now. Like I feel like like to me it would be unattractive if you were kind of like grossed out by the fact that I'm breastfeeding, or like, I don't want to be intimate with you because like, what if I get milk on me? Like I'm not a leaker, but what if I was a leaker and we're like kissing or cuddling and like you got milk all over you?
I don't think it would bother me. I don't know. It's just part of life. It's sort of hard to think any other way. It's not like it's unattractive. It's not like it's attractive. I guess some people maybe are into that, but
I know. I was like,
I'm kind of like, it's not really. I think it's just, oh, you're feeding our kids. Yeah, 1 second. So like I was saying, it's just sort of indifferent. It's just you're feeding our kids and they need it, and it's keeping them healthy, and that's the only way I think of it.
Oh, you got a poopy.
Oh, your turn.
I'm gonna make a batch of my raw chocolate chip cookie dough bites. I really should know the recipe off by heart at this point, but they are, speaking of breastfeeding, they are such a good little energy snack. Especially, this is something I meal prepped a bunch of them for early postpartum, but we all enjoy it now. Even the kids love them. It is in, if you don't have a copy of my cookbook, it's available anywhere books are sold. These are so good. I haven't made them in a long time. The peanut butter chocolate cheesecake, so good. Like, look at that photo. Yum.
Thank you.
Lemon pie chia pudding. There's so many recipes in here that I haven't made in a while. We need cashew butter. I usually just double this because we go through it fast, and I just store them in the freezer. Vanilla extract. Chocolate chips. Sage doesn't like chocolate. We won't put chocolate. Should we put chocolate in our cookie dough bites? We should. Yeah. It's literally 6 ingredients and legit tastes like cookie dough. It's so good. It's not like healthy cookie dough made with chickpeas. No, no, no. It's cookie dough. How do you lose weight while breastfeeding? I'm unable to shed anything from my top arms, etc. There was actually a few questions when it came to breastfeeding and weight loss, and was there like a happy middle ground where you can still have a good milk supply but also drop the weight? Maybe this isn't the answer that you're gonna want, but I don't think breastfeeding is a weight loss program. Like, if you are wanting to breastfeed because you want to lose weight, it's kind of like the issue is like you need to, that should not be your sole reason, obviously, but like you need to eat enough calories, you need to eat enough, you need to sleep and rest and recover and restore in order for your body to make milk. Like, you're not gonna be able to make milk from an empty cup. Like, if you're depleted, so will your milk supply. I personally would notice dips in my supply when I was not nourishing my body enough. You are just burning more energy. And breastfeeding, I looked the stat up the other day. I think it's like breastfeeding each day is equivalent to like running for 30 or 40 minutes a day. That is crazy. It burns a lot of calories, and you need to be replenishing that with food and proper nutrition, because you are what you eat, and your breast milk is what you eat. So, and what your baby eats. In terms of recovery, I do feel like breastfeeding helped with recovery. Even just with like right after birth, there is a hormone that your body releases when you're breastfeeding to help your uterus contract back faster. This can also help with decreasing bleeding and just overall recovery with your uterus. Obviously, your uterus is going to retract back regardless, but I do think it helps speed it up and do it in a more efficient way. I also think it just helped me recover emotionally. I think being able to really pause and have that connection with my babies, there's hormones that are released both for the mom and the baby when you are breastfeeding that I really do. They're both eating lunch, by the way. That I really do think helps you heal emotionally as well. And I don't know if it helps with like postpartum depression and stuff like that. I definitely experienced the baby blues. For me, I just try to live an active, healthy lifestyle. So move my body, whether that means like stroller walks. It doesn't have to mean going to CrossFit and lifting heavy weights. Like, lifting your kids all day is a form of weight training, in my opinion, and just making sure that the food that you are eating is nourishing. Like these cookie dough bites, it's still a sweet, yummy treat, but there's fiber and there's protein in them, and you can even, I might do that today, I'm gonna add in like a scoop of collagen for some extra protein. But just being mindful of what foods you are eating is not only gonna be better for your body, but better for weight maintenance. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, why we moved, why we're back in this house, what's going on. So essentially, we moved out of here because we had the opportunity to downsize, and we thought this would be a good choice for our family at the time, because we do like to go away for the winters. We're not winter people, okay? I'm grateful for the jobs we have and that we're able to work really anywhere remotely and helping. Oh, I know what you're coming for. So we thought, well, we're gonna be away for the winter for a chunk of time. Why? We don't want to be spending money on this like big house when we're not here. And you can have some, oh, she's sneaky. You got crazy, girl. This girl was at the zoo and the pool yesterday. You need a bath today. So we just thought, well, why don't we downsize so that way we're not paying for this big house when we're not even using it. We figured it was a trial period. We could try it out to see if it worked. Yeah, spoiler alert, it did not. Honestly, it's not that the house was smaller. It's just the layout didn't work for our family. The playroom was in the basement. It wasn't getting utilized. The dynamic, like even just, I took this playroom here for granted. I did. Being able to see where my kids are playing while I'm in the kitchen, getting things done, like even our morning routine, I felt like was so much more hectic because Oakley wanted just to play, so he wanted to go downstairs in the basement, but he's too little to like go by himself, or they didn't. We even put a camera down there and they like did not want to play by themselves, or it was like cold. Many reasons it wasn't utilized, and it actually was like very stressful because we were used to like one way of having like Okay, one, a little bit more. So when we came back from Florida, we realized for a while that the house was not working for us, the layout, and we just were like, do we stick it out? The truth is, we're trying to figure out. So when we came back from Florida, we kind of knew for a while that the layout of the house wasn't working, and we also like did renovations on it and stuff. We thought like if we renovated it and stuff, it would work for our family. And like it's such a cute home. It was actually one of the first properties that we ever purchased, and I'm grateful that we got to like, it was kind of nostalgic going back there, but we just realized it like didn't work for our family, and we had the opportunity to come back to this house. It was rented out for a bit, and ultimately we just felt like it was the right decision for our family. We're still trying to figure out, I feel like a lot of people are just trying to figure out like what is, I don't even want to say a forever home, because I don't think that is necessarily in the cards for us right now. Like we're still trying to figure out where we want to set roots, and like, or not even set roots, but like what's the dynamic of our living situation? Do we want to spend half the year somewhere and half the year somewhere else? Like I'm thinking about like, how do I want my kids to be schooled? Like what does that all look? There's so many factors, and it can feel overwhelming, and it's okay for the story to change. And so right now we're back here. It feels so good to be back. Hi, honey. Thank you. You helping me? You want to try some? It honestly feels so good to be back here. Feels like we never left. We realized like this layout, and even the next house we go to, we know that the main level, like the main living space, needs to have a playroom set up. Like I don't need a second dining room. I just need a playroom. You want some chickpeas? This guy's like on the couch. You want some chickpeas? You want chickpeas? Oh, hang on. I'll put them in. I'm negotiating chickpeas over chocolate chips. Oh, here. Do you want them in the cups? Pour in here. Good job, Oakley. Put some here for Sage. Oh, actually, there's not enough in there. Yeah, half and half. And the fun part about sharing my life online is you guys are just along for the ride and the journey, and yeah, I know we do things a lot unconventionally, but you know what? I saw Jillian Harris posted the other day. She's been with her husband, I think, for like, not as long as us. Or no, she's been engaged for 8 years, and they just got married. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. You know, like things don't need to be like in a fairy tale where it's like this, then this, then this, then this. Sometimes it's like this. That's okay. Actually, I enjoy that. I like the spontaneousness, the fun of it. Honestly, we moved back in like 2 days, and it feels like we never left. How often do you breastfeed Oakley now that he's a toddler? So Oakley, I would say for the most part, he's kind of nursed 3 times a day. Once when he wakes up, like basically as soon as he wakes up, he's like this. I can't say the word, but recently we've transitioned from giving him we'll say, we have a secret code name. We've transitioned from giving him the juice before nap to after his nap, so that he's not relying on it to go down for his nap. This just gives me more flexibility. If we have someone here watching him, or he's with Matt, I know that I have like a longer period of time that I can be out of the house or away from Oakley. It just works better for our schedule. I did that with Sage too. Yeah. Speaking of that, Matt's gonna actually put him down right now. So can we just like look at the texture of this? Like, tell me that doesn't look like cookie dough. I mean, it is cookie dough. It tastes so good. It's really good when you refrigerate it. So I would say now it's essentially 3 times a day. It's just kind of whenever. Because I'm home with him, honestly, our routine is different than what someone else's is gonna look like, because he basically has an all you can eat buffet. I try not to make it like that though, so that I have some structure to my day and that I don't get like overwhelmed with it. But I will say doing the 3 times a day right now works for us. And then I feel like by the time Sage was 2, it was just morning and then night. Yeah, Oakley's going to bed. I do them in little discs, so it's just easier for her to eat them. Longevity secrets, please. I was so emotional when feeding my first. Need tips. And also, how do you make sure you enjoy your breastfeeding journey? Any secrets? I know it can often seem like I make breastfeeding seem easy, and part of it is because I do feel like it was a fairly easy beginning for us. Like both my kids were good latchers, because it's a 2-way street, okay? It's not just all on you. If your baby is having tongue tie issues, or like there's so many elements or factors that come into play when it comes to your breastfeeding journey. And it's not just like creating a baby. It's not just the woman, it's the male too. Like there's sperm count, like there's so many factors, and we often can feel like if there's something wrong that it's our fault and all on us kind of thing. And so I do think if it is something that you want to do, get the help that you need. So I never saw a lactation consultant, but I did seek the advice of my doula. I had midwives, which I cannot recommend enough. Here in Canada, you can choose, it's both are covered by the government, but you can either choose to go the midwife route or the OB route, which is like the traditional doctor route. It's one or the other. And especially if you're a first-time mom, I cannot recommend the midwife route enough. They don't do like special, like complicated cases, like if you have to have a C-section or something, you can't go the midwife route. And then a doula is just like a support person for the mom, especially if you're looking to have a unmedicated birth, which is what I was striving for. I just asked a lot of questions, and I also was able to communicate with my midwives that like I wanted to breastfeed. So right when baby was out, they were on me skin to skin on the boob. And I do think that is really important. Like once baby is born, like I sometimes feel like they can take them away so quick to like measure them and stuff like that. If there is no medical need to intervene, like I just think baby should be on mom like right away for as long as possible. It also just gives you a second to like take in the moment and be present, and like that also helps with a positive breastfeeding experience, is like that baby right on mom and then latching right away. And it's a great bonding experience. It's also just gonna help tell your body like baby is here, like time to get the milk going. And like I said, during that first little bit, it's just colostrum. I don't want to say just, like colostrum is like amazing, and now everyone's like the new health trend, everyone's like I'm on colostrum. I do feel like one of the secrets to having a successful long-term breastfeeding journey is that foundational groundwork right from the start. And if you are having issues, like don't wait till you are in like crisis mode. Seek help. There's so much information, resources, and guidance out there, and being patient with yourself. Don't stress. Like a lot of people are like, oh, like baby's not getting enough milk. Like just trust your body. Make sure that you are getting the checks in and doing those preliminary things like the amount of diapers and stuff. But like, I don't know, part of it I think is intuition and trusting your body and taking care of yourself. You are not gonna have a good breastfeeding journey if you are depleted and not taking care of yourself, because it's like you literally need to take care of yourself first before you can take care of your kids. And I think breastfeeding is a good reminder of that. Okay, these are looking good. I'm gonna pop them into the freezer just to get nice and solid before storing them in a bag, because otherwise they'll just all stick together. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I made some of this like peanut butter crunch fudge. So I gotta chop that up. And then what else is in? I got 2 tubs of chocolate ice cream for our Ninja Creamy. I'm excited for. This is the secret to breastfeeding, lots of snacks on hand. I know there were some questions about supply. Oh, this is a good one. Was it difficult to get pregnant with Oakley while still breastfeeding Sage? I think it's a misconception that you can't get pregnant when you're breastfeeding. They even say like if baby is exclusively breastfed, so say the first like 6 months of their life, if they're not having solids and the only calories they're having is milk, that you can't get pregnant, which I don't think is true at all. Definitely don't rely on it. If you're not looking to get pregnant, be careful and have like a second contraception, what's it called? Birth control option. I actually got pregnant faster with Oakley than I did with Sage. I also think I like tracked my period and ovulation better when we were trying for Oakley. But Sage took about 6 months to get pregnant and Oakley took about 2 months. I honestly feel like Oakley was more me just being emotionally ready and open to the idea of a second child. Sage, I just feel like we didn't track things properly, because there's actually a small window that you can get pregnant. I feel like we're brought up to be like, you can get pregnant just by the man breathing on you, but yes. And I think you're more fertile actually after you have a baby. So definitely look into that, talk to your doctor. But I didn't do any like IUDs or anything with either child after I gave birth. That just kind of freaked me out. And honestly, after being on birth control for like the pill for years of my life, I'm like, I just don't want any artificial hormones or anything in my body. Did you ever deal with low supply, and what did you do to help? So definitely something that most breastfeeding moms will deal with at some point is your supply. And there's gonna be dips for sure. There are some people who are overproducers. I've seen on like TikTok before where they're just like pumping and it's like milk jugs, like pitchers of milk. It's insane. I really feel for those women because that would be a lot. I mean, it's stressful having a low supply, but it can also definitely be stressful having too much. Like that would be overwhelming. So same thing, going back to nutrition, if you're not eating and nourishing your body is not going to be having the tools and building blocks to produce milk and feed your baby. Staying hydrated, which reminds me, I did not drink enough water today. Are like vitamins and supplements that you can take to help boost your supply, things like fenugreek and I think milk thistle. There's like tinctures and herbs and stuff. So I like talk to your health practitioner. And power pumping, which I mentioned before. Power pumping, if I ever felt like my supply was low, I would do power pumping. It's basically when you pump 20, oh, what happened? It's basically a series of pumping at different times and taking breaks to help mimic cluster feeding and just honestly nursing baby as much as you can. So if I felt like my milk supply was low, I would make sure I'm drinking enough, eating enough. I would do extra nursing with baby and do the power pumping. And I would do the power pumping at night after baby goes to bed, like right when they go to bed. I would say maybe an hour, hour and a half, give my body time to make more milk is when I would do a power pump session. And the goal there isn't really to get milk, it's just to the sensation, the sucking sensation to help tell your body, come on, we need more milk. Essentially at this point, I feel like breastfeeding has just become like part of my identity. It feels really normal. Like back to the question about how do I enjoy the journey? Like I said, doing what you do in the start really matters, but don't put pressure on yourself. We as moms just like have so much stress on our plate. And so adding breastfeeding as well just makes it feel like another thing. But I can tell you that breastfeeding has actually been helped with my stress levels as a mom. It's so convenient, is relaxing and calming. It's like it forces you to relax, but there's obviously like hormones and stuff that are released and it's beneficial for baby, but also for mom. What is your favorite nursing pillow? So first off, yes, 120%. Get yourself a breastfeeding pillow. Two of my favorites was the Breast Friend one, and I really like the one by the brand Beba. Get the big ugly ones. That's gonna be your best friend. I use some of the cutesy smaller ones. No, they do not do the trick. You want something that really brings baby up so that you don't have to hunch over. One of my tips for reducing back pain is don't bring your chest to baby's mouth. Bring baby up, and that's gonna help keep things not hunched over and as painful, and just making sure you are stretching afterwards and supported in whatever chair that you are nursing in is really important. And don't sleep on doing other positions when you are nursing. So obviously there's the traditional cradle one, but there's also I think it's called the football, where like their head's here and their body's this way. That is really good too, and just gives your body a break when you're switching it up. And it's good to also switch up breastfeeding positions to just reduce clogged milk ducts. Side lying breastfeeding changed my life. When I found out about it, I'm like, wait, what? This is a game changer, because it just gives your back a break. And that is how I breastfeed Oakley every single morning, or at night if I'm just like tired, I will just lie with him. And I find he nurses better too when we're lying down. He's like more comfortable and relaxed. Basically everyone I talk to is like baby up and lots of support. I had so much fun answering all your questions. Thank you for submitting them. If you have any other ones, like I said, that I didn't get to, leave them down below in the comment section. I always love just hanging out and chatting with you guys. Oh, thank you. Little plastering egg. Just think of me as your sister, your best friend. I'm here to normalize breastfeeding and breastfeeding past the age of 1. I love how that's called like extended breastfeeding, but even like the health organizations now recommend breastfeeding up until the age of 2. So it's not this like, ooh, you're like woo-woo or hippie if you're like breastfeeding past the age of 1. They've done research on the benefits of it. Every time I talk about breastfeeding my toddler, the amount of messages I get of women being like, I either feel shameful about it, I feel like I have to hide it. So I'm here just to normalize it and get the idea out of our heads that once babies have teeth and they can eat food that they don't need mother's milk, which is so far from the truth. Don't forget to check out Skims. Like I said, I'm wearing the triangle one. I love how this is what happens when you breastfeed. You just flash the girls all the time and it just feels like a normal body part. So yeah, here we are sharing myself in underwear on the internet, but I just don't care. It's just a body. We need to stop like sexualizing everything. Click the link in the description box to check out my favorite bras and underwear from skims.com. And then after you place your order, be sure to let them know I sent you. Select YouTube in the survey and then select my channel in the drop-down menu that follows. Sage, do you remember me breastfeeding you? Do you remember having mommy's milk?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, we talk a lot about it that Oakley has mommy's milk, but Sage had it too when she was little. When Oakley was born, it definitely was a transition, which I didn't really get into this video, but I think it's so special that she remembers that. Like she'll be playing with her like dolls and stuff and she's like breastfeeding them, like being like, I'm giving them milk. Like that's all she knows. And I just think that is just like a really cool experience for her too. And when you missed it, mommy would sometimes put, you could have milk in a cup or in cereal, or lots of other ways, right? Well, we're gonna watch Wally. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Mwah, I love you guys. It feels good to be back in the space. It honestly feels like we never left. And I'm just so excited to continue sharing my life and filming content here and bring you guys along for the journey. Okay, I gotta go. 4-year-old's calling. Bye.